Councilmember Coffey.
For the benefit of everyone here tonight, could you give me a list of the people or entities that will be involved in this whole process of, who all will be at the table, with input and, right?
Okay, well, the parties to the 94 settlement agreement are parties to the MOU, but the MOU also outlines this feasibility study to be constructed to identify alternatives and evaluate the feasibility of them. That process invites other stakeholders in. For example, Fort Lewis, Nisqually Tribe, Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife, Corps of Engineers, Ecology. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank on the other ones right now, but that's in addition to the parties that are parties to the 94 settlement agreement. These other people would be involved because they either own land or have a significant stake in this project.
Okay. I've had the opportunity to go on Fort Lewis at the mouth of Sequatchie Lake and look at the weir and where the creek is supposed to go. Have you had any preliminary talks? I mean, does it seem like Fort Lewis? Because when I talked to the biologists that took us out there, they were quite excited about restoring the flow into Sequatchie Creek, starting there, on their property from the mouth of the lake. So, have you been having correspondence or contact with the biologists there? I mean, what kind of feedback are you getting? Because I mean that's where it all starts to restore the flow in the creek, correct?
That's probably true, yeah. And I think we have had ongoing conversations with the Corps, and that actually started back in 2002 when the Corps came to the city and said, we want to do something about Sequatchie Creek. And at that time we had a few meetings with Quadrant and the Army and the military. The BN was there and the Nisqually Indians were there, but there really wasn't the momentum to carry forward a process to actually put something in place. Since we came forward with our project, we've had ongoing groundwater and surface water monitoring work conducted in Sequatchie Creek and all around Edmonds Marsh. We've been monitoring water flows in the diversion canal and water levels at the diversion weir in order to get background information to inform our process and the permit process. And that data has been exchanged back and forth with Fort Lewis, and we've also had ongoing discussions with their hydrogeologists and mostly folks coming to a consensus on what the potential impacts were on groundwater. I haven't had a conversation with the Army's biologist.
So, but do you feel that they will get on board with this now that there's the momentum here to really study this whole watershed, the Sequatchie Creek watershed?
Well, I mean, I think the opportunity is here for them to get on board, and I certainly, invite them and hope that they will. And I think that's the purpose of the MOU is this is an opportunity to bring together a number of entities and try to find a workable solution to move forward. And hopefully, this is the momentum to make something happen.
Well, thank you very much.
Councilmember Graham.
Thank you. We've heard a lot about tonight the importance of the 94 agreement, and as I look through this and I read it and I read the draft MOU before us, I echo Councilmember Westman's concerns for the emphasis and repetition of the preferred watering method. Understanding that that's just one of many options that'll be out there that'll be considered, I'd appreciate hearing from your perspective as an expert in the field of biology and water restoration and the other list of accomplishments that you have. How do you see the preferred watering method, or the preferred dewatering method, in light of the 94 agreement that talks about no permits being made that in a manner that would significantly impact the flow of Sequalichie Creek?
Well, our proposal to construct North Sequalichie Creek, the idea was to improve flows in lower Sequalichie Creek and overall improving habitat conditions within the system. So essentially the project could be self-mitigating in that respect. Again, there's issues and there's opportunities here. The MOU takes us back to review all those things, and I think that's the important thing here is there's an opportunity to basically put the reset button on all this and take another look.
Okay. I have one more follow-up question for you, and that's just on the timeline. I mean, this process is very specific and very intense, and as you've talked about, and as of others, very collaborative. Looking at the agreement, it talks about negotiating a new settlement agreement by January 1st, 2010. And that's on page 7 of the agreement. And then I also see on page 6 that completing settlement discussions, exercising good faith efforts to complete settlement discussions, including executing any settlement agreement by May 1st, 2010. It just seems quick to me. Is that realistic, or is that something that this group will potentially revisit as they get to actually signing this MOU?
I believe it's something that would have to be revisited. It wasn't as aggressive 2 months ago when we originally started. We're ready to sign. So we'd be open to amending those timelines by 2 months or so. But it is important to us that these activities happen in a timely manner and that there is impetus to keep the process moving forward and be constructive in that way.
Because of the nexus of the city's timeline and Department of Ecology's timeline, everything's all related, right?
Everything is related, and the idea is try to move toward an expedited, a workable solution.
Thank you. Any other council comments for Glacier this evening on this discussion item? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stoltz?